Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, to the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So come with me while we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Julep Venue. Julep Venue is one of San Diego's largest multi-purpose event spaces, featuring a bright and expansive main hall with high gabled ceilings and 12,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor event space. For all your event needs, Julep has got you covered. On today's episode, we start our show with an exclusive interview with Doug Aldrich, American hard rock guitarist and guitarist for the band, the Dead Daisies. We then bring you part one of our special on the 55th annual Comic-Con convention. We kick things off with a press preview night and exclusive on the parties and all the installations. Over 10 years ago, the Dead Daisies burst onto the music scene. Their mission was to create some good old-fashioned 70s styled rock, gather some of the finest musicians in the world, and have a great time keeping rock music alive. We talked to guitarist Doug Aldrich about the 2024 tour, the new album, and so much more. Watch this. Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. I am so excited about my next guest, American hard rock guitarist and guitarist for the Dead Daisies, bringing the kick-ass rock and roll to us. Always, I have Doug Aldrich from the Dead Daisies. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Cindy. That was a really nice setup you gave me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I love that you're always bringing the rock and roll. And we're so excited to talk to you guys because the Dead Daisies kicks off an action-packed 2024. You guys have a new single, a new album, a global tour. So I wanted to ask you, are you excited to be back on tour with the guys?
Absolutely. It's been, we got done, I guess, in late last year, November or December. I can't remember now actually, but and we were supporting a best of album last year, and that was really cool. And then I don't know, all of a sudden we started talking about new music, and we got this album together really quickly actually, and recorded it in February and March, a couple weeks here and there, and very excited to get on the road. We had a blast last year, and we're fixing to tear it up spring and summer.
So what's the camaraderie like on tour with you guys? It's got to be so much fun.
It's great. I mean, here's the thing. John Corabi is just a blast to be around. He's an amazing front man, one of the great singers that I've ever worked with, and I've worked with a lot. He's just a very down-to-earth cat. Same with Michael Devin, Tony Cofetis, David. We all just, we're just grateful to be playing music together, and it's just going to be, it's fun, it's fun. We have a bunch of laughs. There's always, funny things going on that keep it light, and everybody kind of checks their ego at the door. We don't really get into any of that kind of drama. We're just having fun and grateful to play.
I love that. So you guys formed in 2013 with the mission of creating some good old-fashioned 70s rock and roll music, and of course, keeping rock and roll alive. So I've been listening to your new single, which I love, which was released May 10th, Light 'Em Up. So Good. Let's talk about this single. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's actually a really simple riff. It's a simple song that's kind of catchy right from the get-go, in the classic sense of some of my favorite Dead Daisies songs are just like that. They're just simple, hard driving songs that are very pure and easy to digest, and makes you basically want to drive faster if you're in the car, or it makes you want to work out harder if you're in the gym. And I love that. And the album, when you hear it, you're going to hear a bunch more songs like that. We're really excited about. We've also got a few songs that are some left turns. We've got an epic track that kind of drops you off in a different place than you started, and we've got a kind of a ballad that turns into another kind of an epic thing. So it's a very deep album, and can't wait for it to come out in September. But Light It Up was actually started. We would go through. We all brought in song ideas into the studio, and our producer Marty Fredrickson would go through and say, "Hey, why don't we work on this one today?" And I can hear a couple things that we could do, and we try. We're all set up together to play together, to record together, and one day he goes, "Hey, I got this song from Stevie D from Buck Cherry," and he goes, "I love the riff. If you guys want to maybe have a listen," and we checked it out, and it was the riff of Light 'Em Up, and we kind of just pinched the riff from Stevie and rewrote the rest of the song. The way it kind of made it, it kind of just took shape on its own for us. And so thanks to Stevie D, because he's a great guitar player and songwriter, and we pinched that riff, and that's the first single. So it's awesome.
Well, and how is it recording in Nashville, right? Because you guys recorded in Nashville for this album. That's such a cool city.
Yeah, it is. It's become such a fun hangout city, and the people are just really genuine, down to earth. It's crazy because the studio, the hotel that we were staying at, were all just like, everything is walking distance. So we didn't have to do anything much. Just wake up, get out of bed, get some coffee, and head to the studio. And like I say, we all set up together. So we would kind of go through practicing a song idea. We'd record it a couple times. We'd go in and have a listen. We'd make adjustments to go re-record it. And then that would be our basic kind of demo. Then we'd move on. And we had in the end, about 14 ideas. And then we narrowed it down to 10 or 11, I think. And then we'd go back and hit each one again, make any little last minute adjustments, but record it live. And then basically it was done, with the exception of the vocal and some guitar overdubs, so that's how we record it. It was all together live in the old school way, like that they did in the 70s.
That's awesome. I love that. So, okay. So your album's going to be released in September, but you're going to play the songs on the tour.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a bunch of songs we're going to road test on this tour.
Okay.
That are not released yet. So it's going to be kind of fun to, when you come to the gig, you'll hear the songs that you want to hear from the Dead Daisies, but also we're going to chuck some new stuff out.
I love that. Okay, so we're excited about the tour. Let's talk about it. So June 6th, it's kicking off in New York, right, at the Racket.
Yeah.
And
at
then you're going to be in San Diego. But what was the Racket? Why did you guys decide to start there?
We've played that room before. It's I forget, it used to be a ballroom. I forget what it was called, but it's now called the Racket, and it's a great sounding room. And it's just we're going to be in New York kind of doing rehearsals for 3 or 4 days. So it just felt like, why not just start there? We're going to hit New York. We hit the Landis in Vineland, New Jersey.
My old stomping ground, Vineland.
Yeah. Vineland, yeah. And then eventually we're going to be out in San Diego on I think it's the 19th, maybe?
The 19th. And you've got, we're so excited. House of Blues, which is such a great spot to play. We love the House of Blues. And you actually have Gilby Clarke, right? A special guest for that show.
Yes. Captain Clark. We love Gilby because he is one of the all-time greatest people in the music business. I don't know, do you know him, Cindy?
I do. Guns N' Roses, right? He was in Guns N' Roses for a while.
He was in Guns N' Roses, and now he's been solo for years, doing his own thing. He also works with Kings of Chaos.
Oh,
but Gilby is he's like Krabi. These guys are legendary, but they're just down to earth. And Gilby is just one cool dude, man. Gilby is a great guitar player, songwriter, singer, but he's also a motorcycle enthusiast, and he knows everything about building Harleys and choppers and everything. And we have he's the captain of the Hollywood Riders Motorcycle Club. And him and Paul Gold started it off and brought a bunch of people in, and eventually they asked me if I wanted to be in, and I was like, yeah, man. So like I love Gilbert. He's awesome. So yeah, it's going to be a killer show. The 19th, um, House of Blues. I played there with Dio. It's a great room, like you said. So
And then you're going to
it's gonna,
the whiskey, which is like so iconic on the 20th. That's like it's got to be the one of the most amazing places to play.
well, as far as clubs go, it's one of the ones with the most history because everyone from Janis Joplin and Hendrix and the Byrds and then Van Halen, and I remember seeing Randy Rhoads sit in with Kevin DuBrow there one time before Randy passed, and it's just everybody's been there. And then all the 80s, I mean, in the 80s, wow. I mean, every band played there from Motley Crue would hold court there to everybody else, you know.
So I have to ask you, I'm assuming you've been to San Diego because you're in LA. Do you have any like favorite spots in San Diego when you visit?
Yeah, there's I forget what the name of it might be the Midway. I can't remember what the aircraft carrier is called, but down by the beach where that is,
The
I think it's the
Midway.
Midway. Is it the Midway?
Yeah, it's the Midway. It's very cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great area. And then there's always, San Diego's got amazing seafood and so generally we don't have wheels when we're in town, but we stay in that area and there's a lot of really nice restaurants. I think last time I was in San Diego, I went to I want to say I went to Nobu
Oh yeah, I love
down there.
Nobu.
Um, I can't remember if it was Nobu or something else, but anyway, great food, great sushi, and that gig is going to be off the chain. So definitely come.
I want to come. I'm going to be there. And so then you
Good.
guys head out to the UK, then the European leg of the tour, right? And your last show is in Frankfurt, Germany.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
is that crazy? Like, what's that like being on such a crazy tour like that?
it's pretty chill this year. We're just doing, these are short runs, under a month or a month, roughly, something like that in Europe and the UK. But it's a it's a great thing because we got this new music. We're excited to play it for everybody. By that time, the album's going to be out. It's just going to be a massive party. That's the thing about Karabi with the Dead Daisies. He's holding court on stage, and he's very down to earth and just a really different kind of front man. He really makes it like it's his own backyard pool party. And it's just a lot of fun and so we're gonna have a blast. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. We've basically been everywhere together with John and so it's just gonna be more of the same, but we got new songs. So
How do you prepare like mentally and physically? Do you like hit the gym? Do you
yeah,
just like, what do you do to prepare? Because I know your guitars are heavy.
the type of show that we want to play is high energy and fun and you gotta be ready. So I've been working out for a few weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, and feeling good. Yeah, so we're good to go. We're gonna have fun.
Awesome. So you have had such an amazing career. I know you've played with so many amazing bands from Whitesnake to Dio. I know with Glenn from Deep Purple. I wanted to ask you, is there like a moment or a memory or something that stands out to you as like one of the most important or I don't know, something pertinent that stands out for you in your career?
There's always, there's been things ever since, when I was starting off. I mean, it's a great job to have to play guitar and hopefully make a living doing it. And I've been super lucky. And there's been a lot of moments, stuff from like one time I was riding in a car with my dad in Florida, and a song that I wrote with the band called Hurricane came on the radio, and it was cool. He was a little impressed, and that something made me feel good. And then stuff like being on stage with Dio and seeing how Ronnie just dominated. He was just so fearless. It's very inspiring. I think about him, how he was, and it's still as inspiring now as it was then. I learned a lot from him, and then the songs that me and David Coverdale wrote a lot of music together and released all of it. Basically, I think we released 30 songs together that we co-wrote.
Wow.
Even sitting in this room, I'd play something for David and say like, he'd like, he'd come hang out at my house, or I'd be living at his house, and we would just get on a roll of writing. We were in this room, and Dio was in this room as well. We'd work here sometimes, but David and I did a lot of work here. And I was playing it, something good to be bad, and he goes, "Well, what are you hearing for the vocal?" And I kind of sang something, what I was thinking, and he goes, "Oh, I like that." And all of a sudden, he goes, "Play it again." And I'm just playing the riff, and all of a sudden, he's sitting behind me, and he sang it, and I was just like, "Whoa!" It just was it was just so exciting, to be creating something that it's like it's kick ass, and people are gonna dig it. And even if they don't, it doesn't matter because you do, and yourself. And then times with the Dead Daisies, we were doing. We've done some really incredible shows. One in particular we did, and it's the only time I've ever done this, is with an orchestra. We played with an orchestra in Poland at a giant festival where we were headlining. 60-piece orchestra playing Dead Daisy songs, as well as a couple of covers that we wanted to do, and it was just incredible. Like 400,000 people, as far as you could see, people, and yeah, those are some moments.
Wow, that's a lot. That's exciting stuff. So, okay, I know we have to wrap up, but I just want to do something with you. Can we
We
use
got
some
time, Cindy. We always got time for you. As Ronnie used to say, we never close. That's what Ronnie would always say.
Always be
Dio,
open.
we never close.
So, okay, so I want to do some fun facts about you.
Okay.
Is it true that you were inspired by your sister's Jeff Beck albums and her classical guitar when you were younger?
My sisters, yeah, both of them. I have an older and a younger, and my older sister they both had record players before me. So I would go in their room and listen on the headphones and hear records like Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. It was like, I was playing guitar, but I was, just learning. Well, I'm still learning, but at that time I was just a, beginner, and listening to Blow by Blow, it was like the first time I ever heard guitar music with no vocals, and it really didn't need vocals because he was so expressive and played with so much feeling. It just made you have goosebumps, and then my younger sister, she had a bunch of stuff like Kiss and Queen and stuff like that. And again, listening to Kiss Alive 2 with the headphones on, I was like, wow, that's what a concert must be like. I don't think I'd ever been to a concert yet. So yeah, it was definitely inspiring. And my younger sister, prior to that, she had been playing guitar, and it was a classical guitar. And it was just a summertime thing where there was nothing happening. There was nothing to do. And I just decided to pick up the guitar. And that's how it started.
That's awesome. And then I heard that you had a cheap Les Paul was your first guitar, right? Which you purchased from the Sears catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And
now
do you know
what Sears is?
Yes.
Well, that's weird because you seem way too young to know what that is. But
I'll
yeah,
tell you how old I am, but
no, you're young. But yeah, Sears was a store that, for those people that don't know, it was like a department store, like a Target. It'd be like having or a Walmart, which neither of those were around back then. But I got this guitar, and it was a cheapo, but I loved it. I thought it was cool, and eventually, though, I got a real Les Paul.
Oh, your collection is amazing. I was going to ask if you have a favorite guitar, but that's probably like picking a favorite kid.
That's been said like that, but I do have one that I recently acquired that is really incredible, and I've got a couple of 50s guitars that are older than me, that are they were a tree at the turn of the century, and then they got cut and made into guitars in the 50s, and I just got a 53 gold top Les Paul that is insane.
Wow.
And I'm not going to be able to bring it on the road just because it's pretty delicate, but it just plays like unbelievable.
My last question for you was, I know you have two kids, a son and a
I actually
daughter.
have 3 kids.
Oh, you
I
have three kids.
Yeah, I have a daughter that's all grown up.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you have 3 kids. So are
There are 2 at
you,
home.
do they think you're like the coolest dad in the world?
No, absolutely not. I am the most uncool dad in the world if you ask them, but they are lovingly hard on me. You know, they're like, my son is 14, so he basically is at a point where he knows everything about life and I don't know anything. And my daughter is 8, but she's super strong-willed, and you know, I'm like all about, like, I want to get hugs from her and stuff like that, and she's just like, no, I don't have time for that. You know, come on, Dad, stop. I said, stop. You know, but yeah, you would think like a musician dad would be something kind of at least like novelty. You know, it'd be like, okay, my dad's a little different, whatever. But no, they're just like, yeah, that's Dad. He doesn't know anything.
Do you think that they'll follow in your footsteps musically?
Probably not, but I did. My son is starting high school, and I did have to make a decision about like some choices on his courses, and one of them was guitar. And I know he's more of a sports guy. He's into sports and is really talented. Both of my kids are sporty, but I signed him up for the class as a third choice, you know, so we'll see what happens with that. He loves music, but he's just discovering a lot of music now. Like when he was a kid, he loved Motley Crue. That was his favorite jam. Now he's getting into heavier stuff that's old. It's pretty cool that he's learning about. And I try and turn him on to stuff, you know, that I think is inspiring. Like before he goes into a soccer game, I want him to listen to Fair Warning by Van Halen to get him pumped up. But he doesn't like that one. He wants to listen to, you know, Slayer or something. I don't know. But my daughter, maybe she will. She's taken piano, she's got drums, she's got a good musical head on her. Both kids have done some recording in here where I've set up a beat and then they do some singing to it. But I'm happy if they're happy, whatever it is, you know?
I just want to say thank you. I've been watching all your stuff and I'm a fan. So thank you for spending the morning with me.
Thanks, Cindy. Really appreciate you and can't wait to see you in San Diego. And yeah, we just appreciate what you do, what you're doing, keeping everybody out there in the public eye and keeping rock moving forward. We'll have fun. Can't wait to see you.
For more information on the Dead Daisies and to find out about their new album and their tour, you can go to thedeaddaisies.com. Don't touch that remote because when we come back, we're at Comic-Con 2024.
We're here at Julep Venue for the Harvest Kitchen, Snake Oil Cocktail Company, and Julep Open House.
Welcome to our Here Comes the Sun party. We're unveiling some new stations. Everyone's having a good time. Snake Oil Cocktails, doing some drink pairings with all my food. We just want everybody to have an incredible time. Welcome and enjoy. We've got Harvest Kitchen doing incredible food. Right. We've got cocktails with Snake Oil Cocktail Company. I think we're having a good time. I'm having a good time. Jack's having a good time. Why aren't you here? Cool venue, great cocktails, great food. You can't do better than that.
Welcome back to The Pulse. I'm your host, Cindy Mattalucci. Comic-Con is the premier event for all things comics and related popular art, including movies, television, gaming, interactive multimedia, and so much more. We love to cover this event every year that brings over 135,000 expected visitors and attendees and over 164 million in revenue to our city. We're starting at the Paramount Lodge, one of our favorite events, and the second year that they brought the fun to Comic-Con. taking over Happy Dough's bar in the Gas Lamp, they have lots of entertainment featuring themed activations and swag from popular titles and franchises like Star Trek, Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, SpongeBob SquarePants, Ghost, Ink Master, and many more. There's always something out there and something fun to do at the lodge, so check this out. Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse, and we are taking you inside Paramount. It's their second year here at Comic-Con, and we can't wait to take you inside. Are you ready? Let's do it.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything. You and me together, we could be.
I'm here with the fabulous ladies for Ink Master. How are you?
We are excellent. How are you doing?
So excited. Are you excited to be here this year?
Absolutely. Could not wait.
So what are you guys doing in here? You're going to be putting tattoos on everyone?
Yes, very permanent tattoos.
Okay. So come down to Ink Master and get your tattoos.
Yes, we are doing cosmetic grade temporary tattoos, but we have some great things from Paramount so you can get your favorite shows and show them off. But yeah, come visit us at the lodge. We'll get you tatted up.
Okay, and what's your names?
My name is Michelle.
Michelle and
Ruth.
Okay, we're gonna get tats now. See you. Bye.
I can take it, I can take it, I can take your pain away.
Happy 25th.
From you.
The Gilded Age has been very popular, so is the Trevor's Wall Street sensation has also been very popular.
For more information on Paramount and Comic-Con, you can go to comiccon.org. For more of these stories, you can head over to our website, thepulsesd.com, and make sure you're following us on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun at The Pulse SD. That's going to do it for today's episode. We'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.